Going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Rakundo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about Adtetokunbo Ogundeji and how this is really a big off season for him to see if he can actually stay on this team, make this 53-man roster with all the additions that the Atlanta Falcons have added on defense. So that's definitely what we're going to get in today. Before we get into that, I do want to go out and actually tell you guys who I've been talking to for about a year and a half now. And I really love talking about the Atlanta Falcons. So this is where I want to go out, and anybody that wants to come on this show and kick it with me, and we can start doing lives together and things like that. So this is sort of like a recruitment. Come in on The Real Falcon Fan, do shows with me live and things like that. Just let me know. You can hit me up on Twitter at Rakundo K, Real Falcon Fan, and come on, and like I said, we can talk about this. Also, guys, if you want to come in and go to my Twitter page and ask me questions and things like that, I'll definitely take your questions and we'll come back on here and talk about those as well. So just want to put that out. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2021. I really appreciate all the subscribers coming in, listening to me talking about the Falcons. This is something that I love to do. Atlanta Falcons is what I talk about all the time. Don't talk about any other team really that much. So this is where it is. These Atlanta Falcons. And like I said, one day when we get on here, we're gonna be talking about, celebrating the Super Bowl after all the hard, years of agony with this team throughout the years. We're gonna definitely one day be celebrating and talk about the Atlanta Falcons reaching that pinnacle, and that's actually holding that Lombardi trophy. So I just want to put that out there. Definitely, guys, go out on my Twitter page at Rakundo K. That's RECONDOK on Twitter. And if you want to come in and we can do some live shows together, and you can also ask me questions on that same Twitter page. So, guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to this channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, like I said, we're going to talk about Ogundeji today. We all know that this is one of the picks, that first draft that Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith had with the Atlanta Falcons in 2021. Ogundeji came in with coming in for Notre Dame with the long arms. Had a really good rookie season. Blocked that field goal that he had in Miami. Actually went to that game too. It was really exciting to see that because I thought we was going to blow it, but that was an exciting game. Ogundeji kind of had, he played really good in the run as well that year. And in year two, you really thought you was going to see that year one to year two jump, but you did not really see that out of Ogundeji last year. He actually played 16 games, started 16 games, 534 snaps, but that jump that you expected to see out of a first year player going to year one to year two, it just was not there for Ogundeji. So I really believe that this year is really going to be important for him to actually be able to, show some progression. And it's really going to be this offseason, right? Because the Atlanta Falcons made a lot of additions along that defensive front. And, guys like D'Angelo Malone or Ebiketie, who they drafted last year, can definitely have an edge on him, leap jumping him and getting ahead of him. So, and then guys like Zach Harrison, they brought in, of course, Bud Dupree with a guy like Calais Campbell. Where is the space that a guy like Ogundeji is going to have opportunity to stay on this 53-man roster? So that's the question. But let's look at what he did last year in 2021. And once again, this is, from Pro Football Focus. It's not the end all be all about football and things like that. But they do keep stats and tracks of all the players in the NFL. So just give you a gauge idea of what they thought about Ogundeji in his 2022 season. Well, as a run defense, out of 119 guys that played that position, he was ranked 116th according to Football Focus. That's not really that good in run D. In pass defense, he was 91 out of 118. His grade last year in rush was last. So his rushing defense, according to Pro Football Focus, was last year. His coverage grade was 44 out of 49. So that's where we see Ogundeji. That's where Pro Football Focus seeing Ogundeji. If you go back and look at another guy that came out the draft, Jalen Mayfield, his first season, right? Pro Football Focus graded him the worst guard. And we see how that kind of translated. So I'm not saying that Pro Football Focus is 100% correct, but based off these, I can kind of see maybe not the worst, but really not doing the things that he should have been doing to actually be able to start 16 straight games last year and have the production that he had. Now, he did have 42 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, which is really not that bad on the Atlanta Falcons defense because, you know, the Grady led the team with 6. So his 2 sacks was pretty good. And he had 1 quarterback hit. So really no pressure provided to the quarterback as well. So if you put that in context of what a guy like Lorenzo Carter did last year, he had 845 snaps. Pro Football Focus graded him a little bit higher across the board on all those statistics. And that's why the Atlanta Falcons decided to bring Lorenzo Carter back, who actually started on the other side of Ogundeji. So you have to put those in perspective. The additions of Calais Campbell, Bud Dupree, the jump that you hope to see from a guy like Armor Ebiketie and D'Angelo Malone really puts Ogundeji in a real tough spot. And then the addition as well in the draft from a guy like Zach Harrison, who has a lot of upside coming in, being that pick that they wanted to pick for him 3rd round. Ogundeji is really going to have to put in the work this offseason. So I'm not saying that he's not going to actually make the squad. If you go back and look at my early 53-man roster projections, I actually picked Ogundeji to stay on this 53-man roster. Of course, now looking at it, like I said, looking at the additions, looking at a guy like Bud Dupree, looking at a guy like Armor Ebiketie, the jump they want him to make, who's actually coming on later in the season last year. Also, if you look at what D'Angelo Malone, the potential that he has, the upside that he has, Ogundeji could definitely be on the outside looking in. But that's why, you know, training camp is so huge this offseason. We know that the Atlanta Falcons definitely is not going to just, you know, cut ties with a guy like Ogundeji, especially when they, you know, utilize draft capital to actually bring him in. Yes, he's a 5th round pick, but 5th round pick doesn't mean that you can't have a long, illustrious career in this NFL. Because look at Grady Jarrett, 5th round pick, already has signed 3 contracts with the Atlanta Falcons. So Ogundeji has the opportunity to prove himself this offseason. Definitely hopes he go in and work on the things, but that trajectory from year 1 to year 2 did just not happen for him. Now going to year 3, 1 more year before he go into his contract year. Of course, you can maybe see him staying on the roster, but it all going to depend on, you know, how he plays this offseason. The competition is really stiff there across the board. How he look in the preseason. And at the end of the day, you know, the breakdown of defensive linemen, edge rushers, and things like that the Atlanta Falcons decide to keep on the roster. We know how deep they are at the cornerback, the defensive back position. In my early predictions that I had for the 53-man roster, I had the Atlanta Falcons keeping 7 defensive backs. That probably could have been a little bit high. I mean, that's just cornerbacks too. That wasn't even the safeties. That was just the cornerbacks. Probably a little bit too high. Definitely, I could see them probably going to 5 or 6 there. But I just couldn't see where they was going to release some of those guys that they brought in. Some of those guys were veterans, and you think about the rookies. But if that number drops, you can definitely see more numbers, you know, towards the position of outside linebacker, edge rusher, and defensive lineman. So that's where Ogundeji is going to definitely have to make his bones. I believe that he can. Like I said, he had a pretty good rookie season, not so good second season. This is where he needs to show his chops. You know, came in, long arm extension, played pretty good at Notre Dame. So the upside was there for Ogundeji, just not didn't make the jump that we need to see in year 2. And according to Pro Football Focus, they kind of agree with what I'm saying to you right now. But so I'm really interested what you guys think. Do you think that Ogundeji has an opportunity to stick with this team? If so, give me your breakdown of the outside linebacker, defensive end positions, who you think is going to make it, who's not. Because you know it's all about numbers, guys. Offense, defense, and special teams. You can't keep everybody, but you want to put the best 53-man roster together. And looking at it right now, Ogundeji is going to have an uphill battle to try to stay on this team. So, guys, let me know what you think about Adtetokunbo Ogundeji and his chances to make this 53-man roster. This is your boy, Ricondo, coming back at you with another video. Peace.